Good morning, it's Dave at All Things Important Reviews. Please smash that like button, please smash that subscribe button for more awesome watch content. I've got with me another Gshock, and this is actually a quirky little model that I've had for a couple of years now. In fact, I've had it more than that. I've actually had it for, just thinking about it now, I've had it since 2018. And this is actually an American market model. It's the GD-350-1C. However, the GD-350 and the module 3403 is actually present in Europe, but in different colour variations. The 1C refers to the blue and black and a positive dial. Now, it's a military style watch, as you can see. I don't know why they've not released, as far as I can understand, they've not released this colour variation in Europe. Now, I don't know why they've not done that. They've done it for the American market. In Europe, you can get a positive one, you can get a grey one, you can get an all negative one with yellow, like yellow negative dial. Well, it's like black, obviously it's negative, but then the writing is yellow. I had that one for around 2 months and I sold it. I couldn't get used to the negative at the time. This is 4 and a bit years ago. But because of the pricing of this watch, I mean, I actually did pay over 100 quid for it, but you can get the GD 350 in a different colour for like 80 quid, 85 quid, 90 quid, sometimes even cheaper on Amazon and stuff. It is, let's start with the sizing. Well, actually, let's do a wristwatch check. I've got my GST B400 1A ER, but I've put it on the bracelet because I love it on the band, on the bracelet. Stunning watch, great all-round watch. Now, let's start with the sizing. Now, I've measured it. At the thickest part, it's like 18 and a bit mil. So here, at these ridges, it is 18 and a bit mil. It's more like 16.2 or 16.3 mil here. And then to the glass, it's only probably going to be about 13 mil, something like that. So the watch, the diameter is about 50 mil here. And the overall, like end link to end link, if you will, like this dimension, is about 54, 53. So by no means a small watch, but it's all resin, it's all plastic basically. And so it is super, super light. Now, the sizing is appropriate for a Gshock. They give it the sizing, they do them this big, or a lot of them they do this big, because they appeal to kind of, you know, they're a Thule watch, and a Thule watch, you want them to be bigger so you can physically see them, see the time and stuff. And not only that, the size adds to the ability for Casio to make them super durable. And even though this is below 100 quid, I don't actually know what the retail price is in America, but I'm guessing it's below 100 quid or something like that, $100. They give it the super endurable specs, you know, with all the stuff they put in these things to make them super durable for the cheap price that they make them in. They're able to do that, and it's probably easier for them to do it if they're able to go thicker and bigger, I'm thinking. Now, the little caveat with this watch does come with what I call wings. They're actually wrist supports, and they go on like that. Now, the one I got with this watch actually I think was black, but this is the same one for a slightly different model, I believe. And they go under here and they screw on, basically. And what they do is they're supposed to kind of keep the watch in place better when they're on your wrist. But on this particular model, on the GD350, when I recall at the time when I had them on, they felt too sweaty, in my opinion, for what I didn't like the feel of them. So I took them off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the, I think it's the 1B model, the GD350-1B. It's either the 1B or the 1A, the one that's the negative one, all black with the yellow negative indices. I'm going to get that, and I'm going to keep the wrist supports on, and I'm going to see how they feel now 4 years later. Because when I had them on last time, I didn't like them and I removed them. Now, I love this watch because it has a really quirky appearance overall. Obviously, it's just got a hardlex crystal, but so it's not going to be sapphire at this price point. But as I've said before, with the Casios, they are not standard crappy hardlex, or not standard. They're not a standard mineral crystal that other manufacturers will put on a watch. They do something to them, or they use a superior grade of mineral crystal that means they are super scratch resistant. I've never scratched, or very, very rarely scratched, a Casio G-Shock watch in terms of the crystal. I don't recall. I've had them for years. I've took them everywhere. I've done everything with them. I've smashed them everywhere, and I have never put a significant scratch in a Casio G-Shock. Now, the Casio non-G-Shocks, yes, I have. I scratched that big time in Thailand. The Casio Diver, which is one of the cheapest dive-rated watches in the world, I think it's about 50 quid. I've reviewed it on this channel already. It's 44mm. It's a great all-round watch with a dive bezel. You know which one I'm on about. I can't remember the exact reference. It's M something. But that watch, I scratched it in Thailand. When I was switching watches at a Casio G-Shock outlet. I took it off and I dropped it onto something, and it scratched, and I put a big scratch in it. Now, you can get scratches off, but with a G-Shock, I don't think that would happen, because I've done that many times and it's never scratched them. So Casio get thumbs up for the performance of these watches for the price point, as I've said before. Now, the reason why I love this watch is because of the unique looks. It has an unusual kind of military-esque, boxy, look to it. And also, another thing I've noticed, and I don't know why, and I would love to know why in the other Casio models they don't do this, but this kind of dial, right, is like it's a low energy dial. And basically, traditionally, the panels that Casio have put in these watches have had poor, not in this model, but in the other digital watches, they generally have, especially if it's an all digital watch, generally have poor viewing angles. And with the way they put them in, you can get a really jet black, viewing angle when it's tilted like that on your wrist, right? But when you put it up, when you move it up, the viewing angle goes worse. But on this unit, I don't know what panel they've put in here, but the panel has near perfect viewing angles at any angle, which is brilliant. It is brilliant. And that's why Casio, can you see how it's not, it's still totally legible at a completely off angle. Now, normally with like a twisted pneumatic panel that you have on a cheap LED monitor, if they use a TN panel, what's called a twisted pneumatic panel, and I don't know the exact technology that they put in this one, but they have a crap viewing angle. And traditionally, most Casio all digital watches had a crap viewing angle. Not on the modern Pro Trek ones that are really good, but on some of the older ones that they've used on the G-Shocks that are just all digital, they had a crappy viewing angle where if you looked at it dead on like that, it wouldn't be jet black, it'd be like off colour, because of the way the panel displays basically. But with this model, they've put a really, really good digital panel in it, and it has near perfect viewing angles from any angle, which it might not be a big thing to you, and it's not really a big thing, but it looks so crisp and sharp when you see it. It looks really, really good. Now, this is one of the most legible, for the price point, digital watches you can buy. Now, I had a digital running watch when I used to run like 4 times a week and I was super fit and all that. I used to have a watch made by Silva, S-I-L-V-A, and I think I've reviewed it on this channel a couple of years ago. And that was a pedometer, so it measured your steps. It was a fantastic running watch, super light, and that had a panel similar to this, where it had perfect viewing angles at nearly any angle. Casio should put, if it's possible, they should put technology like this into all future digital panels. I'm trying to think if I've got a digital. Let me just one sec. Yeah, I've just thought I'd just show you just as a comparison. This is not an amazing comparison, but this is the GD-100. Yeah, this is the GD-100 on the right. Another super amazing watch. But you can see how it's losing viewing angle. It's greying out a bit, whereas it doesn't, and it's not really a good example because this watch also has a decent viewing angle, but it's not as good as this. This one does not lose contrast even completely off angle, which is just great. You know what I mean? It looks really, really sharp. Whereas this one, but this is a bad example because this also has a decent viewing angle range, but so it's a bit of a crap example, sorry. But by the way, this is the one to get for the all-round amazingness. So I like the style of it. I really do. You know, I think it still looks better in the all digit. It would look better because the blue's not going to be for everyone. I mean, if they did a different colour variation, which they do about 5 different colour variations on this model, but you're getting as well all the standard modes that you get: world time, alarm, stopwatch, timer. You're getting all kinds of stuff that I would never play with. You're probably getting some more stuff there. Yeah, vibrator. Oh, it also has the auto illuminator. Now what that does is, I won't turn it on now, but what that would do is, I'll just put it on my wrist. That's it on the wrist. You can see how it's got a very boxy, rectangular, kind of military-esque look to it, and I just love it. It just looks really, I've not got any watches that look like this at all. It almost looks like something from the 1980s. It doesn't look like it's been made in the, you know, in the 2010s or the 2020s, does it really? But I'm definitely going to pick it up in a negative model. See, when it's with them wrist supports on, even though it probably makes it stay in place better, for me at the time when I had them on, it made them feel too sweaty after about 4 hours. When I was taking it to work for like a desk diver, you know, an all-round beater, it was becoming too sweaty and I didn't like it. Obviously, this is a Gshock, so you get in, see that, 20 bar, you get in your 200 meter water resist, so you can take it swimming, you can take it diving, you can do what the hell you want with it, practically. You know, shock absorbing structure. You can smack it, you can do what the hell you want with it. You can even buy, to really spruce it up, you can buy some bull bars to make it, and it will leave a mark in the plastic, but you can buy some like military style bars that you put on it for extra. I think J's and K's do it, or eBay or something, and they make it look even more military. I'm going to buy the negative model of this and I'm going to review it like 4 years on to see how I feel about it. The negative model is more versatile because it's all black, other than like the yellow writing. It is a beautiful watch. I'm going to buy it again because you can get it for about 70 odd quid, I think, on Amazon. The main thing with this watch for me to improve it would be to somehow not have to use these wrist supports, and to make the strap more, I don't know, more rounded to the wrist. Because to me, can you see on the GD? See this is the GD-100. The GD-100 for me is a perfect fit on the wrist. They're both super light, by the way. They're both probably about 100 grams, if that. And even though this is bigger physically, it fits better to me than this one with the wrist supports. And you can see there how I talked about before about the sharpness. It is super sharp, this dial, which is what I love about it. But the thickness is totally fine because the thickness is only on the bezel really. The actual, you know, the panel part is nowhere near as thick as it, so it's not an issue, the thickness. It's to do with the way the band fits on the wrist, and personally I would prefer it if they put, even though it looks like a very, very similar band, the way this fits is superior on the GD100 in my opinion. So if they could sort the band out to have a band similar to the GD100 in the way that it fits the wrist and the way it's shaped here, without the need for these things, and if they could put in it, give us an option for tough solar and give us an option for multiband or Bluetooth, whichever one, to get the perfect timekeeping all year round without having to change a battery, then you have a winner chicken dinner. That will probably add on another 40 quid to the watch, probably something like that, but or 20, 25, something like that. But in my opinion, that would be superior than having, you know, having a battery, because this will have a battery. I'm guessing, I've never swapped the battery out since I bought it in 2018. So we're nearly 4 years on now. From America, I don't know. I think it had only come out though in 2018, to be fair. So it's lasted for 4 years nearly, and I've not changed the battery. Oh, and the auto illuminator, I forgot to tell you. So the light on this, the light is excellent. Lights up all. The LCD, it's not focusing. And you can put auto illuminator on. When you put auto illuminator on, what that means is when you flick the wrist towards you, the watch automatically senses that, and it triggers the light to come on. So if you're at night time and you want to check the time, you flick your wrist and the watch understands that when you turn it on in the settings, and it will auto illuminate. It's a great feature that Casio have made. So all round, it's a good watch. It's a quirky watch. It's got quirky, you know, not many manufacturers are making them looking like this, which is why Casio, you know, all props to them kind of thing. They are making watches that are unusual, but are still military style and are still very functional and all round. It's a great all round sports watch. You know, even if they like I said, if they added on the Bluetooth or the multiband and they added on tough solar, it would be a serious winner. And if they could sort out this wrist support, I don't think it needs wrist support. I think it just needs a band that's similar to the GD100. But I just thought I'd show you this one because I can't believe I've not reviewed it before on my channel, and I should have done. I think there's been a mistake there by me. Anyway, I've got loads of watches coming from AliExpress. I've got some really good ones. I've got the Explorer 2 homage from Pagani coming. That's going to be interesting. I've got loads of watches coming. Thanks for checking my channel out. It is appreciated. Have a great day.